Alright, and welcome back to F123 My Team Career mode. Now, last episode at COTA, there was no real other way to describe it other than an average weekend for Max Verstappen. We got pole position by 0.2 of a second, dominated the sprint race, and then in the main race, despite going from pissing down with rain to completely dry, we still dominated, took the race win, and extended our lead in the Drivers' Championship by 10 points, and I only missed out on a Grand Slam by one singular lap. Now, with 3 races remaining, we are heading to Brazil. And unfortunately, the way this game works, it means we are going to have 3 sprint weekends in a row. And honestly, I'm exhausted of them. The recordings are long, the editing's long. I'd rather just go straight into a main race, do you know what I mean? But anyway, nothing I can do about it, just got to take it on the chin. Get to Interlagos. And this is crunch time. We need to win. And here we are for quali here in Brazil. Now, what's interesting is on the MFD thing, whatever it's called, it actually said it was going to be absolutely pissing it down. It's not. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it says it's raining, but it's not raining. Oh, it's raining now. Okay, you know what? We need to get out there now. If it's about to start raining, I want to get a lap out instantly on some slicks while I can. Now, I never, ever come out the pits this early. I usually wait until about the 10-minute mark, but if it's true and the weather is going to start raining a bit, I would like to get a lap on slicks, because obviously Inters are way slower, and doing this lap now could secure me a nice little grid spot. Okay, not awful through turn 1, 2, and 3. DRS enable, let's fly down that straight. What kind of speeds are we doing? Okay, 330, that's a bit high to be fair. I've gone a bit wide through there. That's probably lost me about half a tenth maybe. Making our way through sector 2 now. Going wide at near enough every corner because it tells you to brake, you brake and you go over it. So, 1 minute 6. What? Fastest sector 2, but at 1 minute 6? Hang on, what's going on here then? Right, here we come across the line. I don't think it's going to quite be a 1 minute 6. Oh, we actually go fastest. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. We still have a couple heavy hitters crossing the line, starting off with a Ferrari. Leclerc goes and takes it. Perez, though, crucial. Sergio Perez is currently behind me. And if it starts to rain, that should mean I get a confirmed P2 start. Now, I'm not sure if I should go for another lap, because I know I can improve. But, like, is it going to rain now? Or is it, okay, you know, let's just do another lap instantly. And if worse comes to it, I'll just have to, you know, do another lap on some new tyres. And then, oh, hang on. You can see it starting to spit a bit now. I don't even know if I'll be able to do an improved lap, as I drop down to P4. But crucially, Perez still behind in P5, although I don't think I'm going to be able to find improvement because it has started to rain. Right, yeah, so, yeah, it's too wet now to do an improved lap, which means this is probably, well, it is. This is going to be the qualifying order. We are going to have me in P4, Sergio Perez, championship rival P5, both Ferraris in P2 and 3, and I have no idea who is in P1. If I was to take a guess, I'd say George Russell, but that's probably going to be it for quali. So let's get into this sprint race. Okay, so it's actually a Wassa that went fastest. George Russell's actually all the way down in P7, but it's very, very close between the field. In fact, I was only 1/10 of a second, which I could have easily got if I got another opportunity to actually go P2. But yeah, this is good, being ahead of Perez, and obviously now it's pissing it down. This is the final qualifying order. And here we go for the Brazil sprint race. Now, what is interesting is, just like qualifying, it said that it was going to be heavy rain conditions. And, well, I might have some pretty poor vision, but I think you can plainly see it's just not raining, is it? It couldn't be more opposite. It's literally beams of sunshine. Now, of course, the way this game works is... Shut up, Derek! I'm trying to talk! But yeah, of course, in this game, the way it works is, in real life, you have a separate qualifying for the sprint race, and the sprint race is just a normal race. Whereas in this game, it's still the old format, where the sprint race qualifies you for the main race. So it is crucial that we get one of my very familiar quick starts, and we gain some positions in this sprint race. I'm ready to cook. Let's go. Right, here we go then. Rough. That's a banger. That's class. That's world class. Already ahead of the Ferrari, and maybe I can get ahead of Iwasa down the inside. Go on, leave him some room. Yeah, come on. P4 to P2 off the start. Sainz also with an incredible start. P3 to P1. Look at me and him go. We are world class. Now, I am running way higher downforce than every other car here, so I'm going to have really bad straight line speed. But I should hopefully be able to catch and pull away through these corners. Perez also gained a place, so he's up to P3. What is crucial is there is now one car between me and him. Right, I'm going to try and stick close to Sainz through the straights, use a bit of ERS, and then once DRS becomes available, just smoke past him, basically. Sainz already slipping quite a lot through Sector 2. I don't know if he's just pushing really hard, but he's getting very slippy. And actually, I might not need DRS going down the main straight. I would like to have it, so I might actually just wait, because I don't want him to have it. But this is encouraging. DRS now enabled. Let's try and get a good exit at turn 3. No, 2. I don't know. DRS enabled, though. Switcheroo to the outside. This is going to be a bit brave. Go on. Yeah, come on. Foot cream is up to P1 in the sprint. Right, now I need to try and pull away through this second sector with my extra downforce, and then just try as hard as possible to get a really good exit at the final late corner, so that he doesn't re-overtake me with DRS. But, I mean, you can see the gap I'm already pulling. Bit of oversteer, that's fine. Already 8 tenths clear, which is very encouraging. Even if he does get DRS, he shouldn't be able to pass me. Go, 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 go. Yes! Come on! I've pulled a second on Sainz. I can now get away, although he will catch up by about 2 tenths because of that straight line speed advantage. But at least this time, he's only got a straight line speed advantage because I've purposely put more downforce on. Right, now beginning lap 6. Actually slowly pulling away from Sainz, but then he catches back up through the corners. Iwasa's still holding on from Perez and also getting quite close to Sainz, which is obviously quite nice. Pierre Gasly sticking in there as well. You can see in the bottom left of your screen, it's very close between most of the drivers. In fact, the top sort of 12 are all split by about 5 seconds, and then there's a little bit of a gap back to the Alfa Romeos. Now, what we really need is, well, Sainz to sort of stick on and keep that P2. Because, obviously, we're not just fighting Perez for P1 in the drivers. We're also fighting Mercedes for P2 in the constructors. Uh-oh, Iwasa and Sainz are fighting. That isn't particularly bad, but it does invite Perez. And as you can see on the map, he is getting involved a little bit. Uh-oh, this is bad. Come on, Iwasa and Sainz. Work together to keep Perez back, please. 2 cars between me and Perez is going to be so crucial for this main race. As we now begin the final lap, Perez right up the arse of Sainz. He's going to go for the move. No! No! And Perez has got Sainz going into turn 1. Can Sainz get him back with the DRS going down here? I don't think he can. Watch it on the mini-maps, and no, Sainz can't quite get him. However, if Iwasa can pull away a little bit, Perez won't have DRS and Sainz will, but so far, Perez is just getting within that second margin. Right, and as we come down the final straight, as you can see, Perez outside of Iwasa's DRS, but Sainz is also outside of Perez's DRS. I'm going to come across the line and win the sprint race. But I believe Perez has held on to P3, which, that's not the end of the world. But it's not ideal, let's be honest, it's really not. So here's your final finishing order, and as you can see, Perez does pip Sainz to get P3, so he'll start P3 for the race, and we do actually gain another little cheeky 2 points on Sergio Perez, which means the gap is now to 12. Now, onto the main race. Right, and here we go, and once again, it is going to be a lovely, sunny, dry afternoon at Brazil, which is a blessed relief, because I do not want to be facing wet conditions, because that just sounds unfun. Now, the strategy is very basic. It's just, you know, a little bit less than half the race on softs, switch over to some mediums until the end. We're also running a bit less fuel than usual, so we'll see what happens there, but me in P1, title rival Sergio Perez P3. It's crucial that Iwasa can actually hold on and defend from Perez here. Let's see what happens and begin this race. Oh my goodness, that's, oh wait, that's horrible. Oh, I've had a really bad start as well. So has Perez. Oh my goodness, right. Iwasa has taken an engine penalty and actually dropped back to like 5th on the grid. Sergio Perez has dropped from P2 to P5. No way. He's had the worst start I have ever seen in my life. And I thought mine was bad. Oh my goodness. Right, I need to go now. I need to clear this field now. I need to go. Now, I'm positive that Perez is going to make his way back up the field. But I'm more so thinking about the fact that now I can clear off from not just Sainz, but Perez as well. And as you can see, Iwasa's up to P3. Wait, I'm confused. I thought... Wait, so did he get a 5-place grid penalty? Had a really good start and went from P6 to P3. I'm puzzled. Perez has made a gain. No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. So Perez... Oh, no, he hasn't. Oh, yes, he has. Okay, Perez up to P4 now on lap 2, although you don't really expect Gasly to fight for too long. I mean, let's be honest, that Alpine is a bit shit. Not as bad as real life, of course, but yeah, still not the best. Now, as you can see, I am by no means clearing the opposition. I thought I would. I mean, I've already broken that 1 second thing, which is obviously crucial, but I'm not really pulling away at all. Sergio Perez sets the fastest lap, 10 milliseconds faster than me, so not much of a difference. And as you can see, the gap is 2.7 currently, and he is in the DRS of Iwasa. Come on, Iwasa, defend. Luckily for me, he's right up Sainz's arse, so hopefully they can sort of put each other along a little bit. Sainz and Iwasa are fighting each other. That's good for me, but also good for Perez, because now Perez right up the arsehole of both of them, and he can potentially go for a move on Iwasa. Let's see, would he go for it? What? What? Perez does a double overtake. I have never seen the AI do a double overtake. Perez now gone from P4 to P2 after 1 corner. Great. Luckily for me, I've already got a 4-second gap, and we're also going to be running the same strategy, so I just need to keep it together and not lose too much time to silly mistakes, and I should have this. I know it's only lap 5, but yeah, this should be very winnable. Right, coming on to lap 7 now. As you can see, me and Perez, well, basically me, I am pulling away by about a 10th per lap right now, but also he's pulling away from everyone else. I mean, it's now 1.3 seconds between himself and Sainz. Right, I've officially hit the magical 25 on my front tyres. If you don't know what the magical 25 is, basically, as soon as your tyre wear gets to 25% in this game, your pace drops by about a second a lap. I have no idea why, but basically it means I'm going to have to pit quite soon. But we've actually got another 3 laps before I come in, but as you can see, the car is just way slower. But luckily for me, I believe Perez has also hit the magical 25, so the gap should stay about the same. Right, messages just come through from Derek, my engineer, said rain is expected in about 10 minutes. In about 10 minutes time, I'd be on about lap 18, 19. Maybe even more. So I'm still going to pit on lap 12, this next lap, when I'm supposed to. And then obviously if I need to, I'll switch over to some intermediates. Also, Perez seems to be struggling a little bit. I've actually pulled 1.5 seconds on this lap alone, well, last lap, and Iwasa has caught right up to Perez. The gap is still 1.8, but it's decreasing. Go in, Iwasa! Right, gap at 6.6 as I come into the pits. Now, this should be the same lap. Oh, I've hit the wall a bit there. This should be the same lap that Perez comes in. Let's see. Right, so Perez comes in. Iwasa, Gasly, Piastri, and Guan Yu Zhou all stay out. Right, exiting the pits. Lovely. And I think we've actually gained a decent amount on Perez in the pits there, as I come out directly in front of my teammate, Yeti. Right, now Lance Stroll has decided to be a bit of a knob and has actually stayed out on his old softs, which means I'm probably going to have to go for a ballsy overtake, which I'm not looking forward to. Right, hi Stroll, don't mind me, I'm going down here, thank you. Oh, on the grass, no one cares. Bye Stroll! That's my first overtake, look at that, lovely. Right, everyone is now pitted, which means after all of that, the gap to Perez is exactly the same, 6.3, 6.4 area. Iwasa, though, loses a shitload of time and actually drops 5 seconds back off of Perez. He went from within 1 second, or well, 1.5 to 5.5. How's he done that? Horrible driver. There's something very interesting going on right now. We're on lap 18 out of 25, and well, there's no other way to explain it. Me, Perez, Iwasa, and Sainz are all doing exactly the same lap time. Over the last 3 laps, the gap between, well, those gaps you can see, 7.1, 11.4, and 12.7 have been the same for 3 laps now. We are all saying identical laps. What is happening? This is weird. And I mean, as long as they're not catching me, I really couldn't care less, do you know what I mean? I should also point out is that Iwasa, currently in P3, would only score 15 points, right? His teammate George Russell, not even in the points right now. So, by the end of this race, if everything stays the same, I would gain 8 points in the Drivers' Championship and 11 points in the Constructors, catching up to Mercedes, which would bring the gap down to about 35, I think. So who knows what we can do there. Right, lap 23 now, gap to Perez, 9.7. I am seriously cooking the competition right now. 13 seconds back to Iwasa, 17 back to Sainz. Sainz and Leclerc, no, Zhou and Leclerc were fighting each other for quite a long time, but it seems that Guan Yu Zhou has got that place, so gets good points with McLaren, although to be fair, McLaren and the Constructors, I believe at the end of this race I might have actually won it, so we can forget about that. What is crucial is how George Russell's getting on, and as you can see, he's got ahead of one Aston Martin, I think. I can't tell, but he's all the way back in like P12 at the moment. The clouds are starting to look a bit gloomy, however, as I come around this final corner, whoa, big slide. This is the final lap, so we don't have to worry about wet conditions or anything. And now we begin the final lap. Come on, car. Now, Qatar, despite winning that race, was one of the worst weekends I have ever done in this game. To put it into perspective, I was using a flashback pretty much every lap, or every other lap. I kept going off, I kept going wide, and my lap times were incredibly inconsistent. However, then, straight afterwards, I go to Kota, I don't use a single flashback, and I dominate the race. And it's a similar story here in Brazil. Pretty dismal qualifying in terms of position, only P4 on the grid, but then straight up to P2 in the sprint race, and then soon after into P1, off the line in the main race, all the way up into P1 I went. I never looked back, and it is 3 wins in a row. Come on! 8 points gained in the Drivers' Championship, which means the gap is now 20 points. Which means if I win the next race and Perez, well, actually, it doesn't matter what Perez does. If I just win the next race, I will be crowned the world champion. Holy shit, what a turnaround. Here is your final finishing order of the Brazilian Grand Prix. This is the sprint race and main race added together. So I actually gained a total of 10 points over Perez this weekend. Here's the sprint race, P4 to P1, 2-second lead over Iwasa, and then into the main race, an 11-second win over Sergio Perez, which means the Drivers' Championship. What is going on in the bottom right corner? What is that? Anyway, these are the standings. We now have a 20-point lead over Sergio Perez. Like I said, if I win the next race, it doesn't matter if Sergio Perez wins with the fastest lap. If I get a win in the next race, that should be all I need to win this championship. And then looking at the constructors, we now move within 20 points of Mercedes. 20 points across 2 whole Grand Prix weekends. That is very doable, but it's going to have to take another 2 world-class performances. And honestly, I don't even know what the next race is. All I know is that the final race is at Las Vegas, but I have no idea what's in between. But that's going to be all from me today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye-bye. Come on!